Good morning. Welcome to Options Tender. It is Sunday, 12/18/22. Welcome everybody to the weekend update. We're going to do something just a little bit different. Go back to a higher time frame and go down to lower time frames on the SPX instead of the ES as usual. I bounce back and forth to get different perspectives of the cash market and the futures market. I do that every day, as a matter of fact, because sometimes they can clarify some things. But here we are on a monthly time frame. If we go back to the 1920s, put a trend line up to 2000, the dot-com bubble, and all the way up to this channel ending here, we hit that trend line once again. So this has been on there for months and months, but I just wanted to give that perspective from a long time ago on the wedge that's forming here. And it's possible we tested a trend line down here. I'm not sure if that's probable, but if you notice, it'd be back testing the two peaks at this point, right around that 15 to 1600 area. That's a massive market drop. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is a possibility. When I speak of being in a bear market, I think it's catching on that I'm just this bearish guy, but that's just the scenario we're in, and I'll be bullish when that time comes, but we're not there yet. Just looking at this channel in general, coming in a little bit closer here, we had a 5-wave move completed. So at least I expect to test that bottom of that channel. Now we start breaking down from it, and we got a problem. Let me just extend it out just a little bit more. We have a problem, because then that opens up, probably this Corona crash bottom here at minimum, or I don't want to say minimum, because then we're talking the trend line down here. So then we're talking about testing this the bottom of the Corona crash, and huge support around this 2200 area. So I do have that as one of my targets, and I talk about that almost every day. But let's go one thing at a time and see where we get. But let's look for this the bottom of this channel at minimum there. That's more appropriate. Okay, now diving in a little bit closer. We had lower highs, lower lows. We were coming into this this box on the futures. I have it kind of framed in, but we had this consolidation for 3 months right here, and we back tested it a few times, and that's all we did. Once again, that's all we did was come back to retest that area, and after bouncing off the 50-month moving average. And if you notice the 8 EMA, that's our trend indicator on all time frames, and on the monthly, we can't close above it. We barely closed above it here and immediately rejected the next month. Closed above it on the last day there, rejected once again. So after rejecting, we're looking at making new lows at this point. So I think this is the time to do it. And going to the weekly, on that weekly time frame, now we're looking at, here is the 50% retracement and a 62% from the Corona lows. And so I suspect this is our target right around this 3200 area. This we're in a channel downtrend here, rejected off of the 50-week moving average, coinciding with the downtrend. We broke the uptrend line for this correction already, and now we're back underneath that 8 EMA and the 20 simple moving average on the weekly time frame. So that brings us back to the lows with the 200-week moving average. You lose that 200 moving average, and that's where we're gonna once again possible. There's two scenarios here that we're gonna look at, and that's breaking that 200-week moving average and moving down to our target for that 3,200 range. Now the bulls, they're not dead yet. They're we made a low and then a higher, a low then a high, and it's possible we could make a higher low here and then continue to the upside and break this downtrend. That would be the bullish scenario. So we'd have to make a higher low, and I suspect that would be around a 62% retracement from that low to high. Go to this low to the high here, and we're looking at around 3,800 area down to the 3,700. So we're probably going to get a little effort there, some buying around that area just to see if that scenario works. I will not be, but that's in the cards right there. Okay. Unless it's scalping, I don't mind scalping to the upside with futures. Going on to the weekly, to the daily. The daily trend is our friend. All right. Lower highs, lower lows. What am I pointing out here? If you saw from probably 2 weeks ago, I was looking for a turn. So we're using the McClellan summation index, and I was pointing out the fact that this area held back into a bull market. People thought that we were going to head back down at this point and start a bear market at that. After this, that this was just a rally and then break down from there. You see, we had the Corona crash that brought us right down immediately. Now the opposite is happening now. We had the Corona crash and bounce immediately back into bullish territory above this fuchsia line here. And we came back to test this area and then held into bull market territory. Now we started to lose strength overall, broke down over plenty of time and broke back down underneath, and now holding underneath, broke that. We had the bullish divergence, and then just like the Corona crash, ripped to the upside into bullish territory. Now, what I suspect is happening at this point is we went straight back into bearish territory, and now we're doing the opposite. We're kind of trying to gain traction again to the downside, and that's why I have this arrow pointing down here, and we're looking to move to the downside there. And this indicator, it's a super, super good indicator if you want to throw it on your charts. It's the McClellan summation index. All right, we had our wedge, broke down from that wedge, back tested, and came back to the downtrend line. And look at that impulsive move to the downside. So I do suspect this is a wave one impulsive move. And then I actually have the Elliott wave set up here. So let's go to the Elliott wave picture. We have our possible wave one or A here, B or two here. And then if this is a wave C or 3, we're back into a 1, 2. And then on a lower scale, 1, 2, 1. And then probably a little bit of a bounce here. I don't know if we're going to get that bounce right here, a little bit lower for a 2. And then much, much lower in both of those scenarios. And we rejected off that 62% area here. But I have this here just in case. If this is, a new bull market, this would be a wave 1, 2, and then we start ascending at that point. All right, so that's a lookout here. I'm not going to go down to the 65-minute Well, we can go real quick, but that's, I do those daily. So make sure you hit those notification buttons. I do these market analysis each and every day, and I really appreciate the support that everybody's been giving. It's been phenomenal, and we're really trying to grow this channel. So on a lower scale here, we made a slight high. So this is a 1, 2. This is all a wave 1 to begin, but this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I suspect this is going to be a wave 4. We have a little bit lower to go, and that will complete the wave 1. And then we come back for a 2 and start to head much lower at that point. So this is probably a little bit of sideways action going into next week, a little bit lower, and then a retracement to go to bounce and start going much lower at that point. So this, I don't think this wave 1 is complete. Looks like we have a nice large wave 1 here, 1, 2. And I don't see anything, to kind of balance that out for a wave 4, which is usually your time-consuming wave, looking for a triangle or a flat, something of this type of magnitude. So I do suspect we'll see some sideways movement and then drop a little bit lower before our bounce. Okay. We have some data next week, retail sales, CPI, Fed, all that good stuff. Durables, so that's something to check out. And then the open interest, nothing real notable except the 4,000 area. But I'm going to keep my eye out on that 3,700, see if that starts to grow into the January contracts. But yeah, something to look out for. Expected move about 90 points. That may be the truth. The market's been pretty not very good, pretty inefficient, excuse me. Options expected move. It's been pretty inefficient with the market, but the market's been, look, right from the bottom straight to the top. So I can't say the efficiency is way off until you really start breaking through the expected move here, rip through it. So bouncing here, stayed within. So, it seemed like it was, everything was just out of the ordinary and bouncing around, but actually it's been quite tame. Huge moves right into the options expected move to the upside and almost hitting the options expected move to the downside. So the moves are staying within, but they're just vicious large moves there. So if you're not familiar with the options expected move, I did make a video on that as well. You can check it out. It helps me kind of guide me. It's kind of the playing field for my week. And, usually you stay within that playing field. And so that's how I look at it, and it helps me out to see what the market's doing. And so that's it, you guys. Thanks for all the support. And don't forget to like this video. That gets those algorithms going and shaking and moving for us, and so we can get these out to many more traders. Okay, so thanks for joining us here at Options Center. Have a wonderful day.